There's a kind of exhaustion that comes from always being strong, but rarely being protected, from always being capable, but constantly being questioned, from being the backbone of everything, yet treated like an afterthought. Today's conversation isn't about anger, it's about honesty. It's about the blatant disrespect Black women experience in the workplace, in relationships, in society, and sometimes even within our own communities, if we're being honest. It's about what it's like, what it feels like to constantly be last in line for grace, empathy, softness, and understanding. And before anyone gets uncomfortable, this is not about blame. It's about naming what has been normalized for far too long. Because silence hasn't saved us, shrinking hasn't protected us, overperforming hasn't earned us respect. So today, we're telling the truth, not to tear anyone down, but to finally lift Black women up. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl Shelly Nicole with the Remedy Podcast. Happy New Year! Welcome to 2026. Although I do feel like 2026 needs a restart. I'm just gonna start it off just like that. 2026 needs a fucking restart, because what in the actual hell is going on? Seriously, what is going on? And not even just what is going on within the world, everything that we're seeing, from the US citizen who was shot in the face by ICE, to this man taking a country, removing a dictator, but taking a country. There's so many things I want to say about this, but I feel like that's a different episode for a different time. It's just so much going on. And then even at work, so many of my coworkers have had to actually just take their time away because they're going through it. Everyone is literally going through it, having mental breakdowns, having anxiety attacks, bawling their eyes out. I myself had like a legit crash out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go. This isn't how I saw 2026 going. I thought it was going to be, all happy as I've brought in the new year. I brought in the new year. Well, I was sleeping, but brought in the new year on a positive note and positive thinking. And it's just, life just started to come back like, yeah, well, life things are still here. So don't get too happy, too comfortable. But I think that's a pressure that we all put on ourselves once the clock strikes 12, that, okay, new year, now everything just has to work completely different, and it doesn't. Because honestly, it's, I want to say the first 3 weeks of January, we're still in December. We're still in last year. I mean, when you think about it, we just got over Christmas. It literally felt like during Christmas we should have been getting ready for Thanksgiving. Time has just flown by so fast and hasn't given anybody the actual space to really catch up with everything that is happening, with what's in our control, what's not in our control. It's just so much going on. It's so much. But with so much going on, I decided that this was going to be an episode that I was going to start the new year with, because the blatant disrespect that women have been constantly getting forever, but just the more and more I see it as I get older and older, and as I listen, and with this podcast also, but just also other podcasts that I've listened to, things that I see on YouTube, it's starting to become really fucking annoying. It's starting to become really like, what is your problem with women? And I'm asking the gentleman this. What is your real problem with women? Because I feel like we're never going to get to this space of actually healing, or actually like understanding each other. Not necessarily healing. Fuck that. We're not going to get to the point of understanding each other and being able to live with each other if we don't come to terms or come to an agreement or have a conversation, an honest conversation as to what the real problem is. And this is everywhere. This is in the workplace, this is in relationships, this is in society, this is within our own community. Because ladies, let's be for real, Black women in general, I'm talking to y'all, we have this habit of going at it with each other. Black men, you have this thing of not liking Black women. And if this has nothing to do with you, this has nothing to do with you. If I'm not speaking to you specifically, then it's not you, baby. I'm speaking to the ones who know exactly who they are, who know the issues that they have, but are constantly trying to mask it over with something else. That's who I'm talking to. But let's get the episode started. But actually, before I start the episode, I also want to bring to you guys' attention that Her 30 Journey Part 2 will be coming soon. So if you guys want to be a part of those series, a part of those episodes, then hit me up. Let me know. Hit me in the DMs on Instagram, on TikTok. Let me know if you are interested in being in the part 2. Part 2 will have 10 episodes, just like part 1 did. And we're going to be in person, hopefully more than being on audio. I love both, but honestly, I think person to person is better than doing it via FaceTime or audio. So we're going to do that for this year. Also, the episodes will start probably in like March, April-ish. They're going to start being 2 every month instead of once every week. Just other things that I'm doing that's going to ask for my attention. So I'm still going to give y'all episodes, still going to put out content, still going to do what I also love to do, which is this podcast, but also something else that needs my attention that I'm also investing in for 2026. As well as, see, I got my plate full. If you guys are interested in, especially the ladies, if you guys are interested in being down with sorry, I had something that distracted me, caught my attention. But if you guys are interested in, I'm also starting this new club, which is called The Remedy. Sexy Women Like to Read Too. Yes, hand clap, hand clap, hand clap. For all the women who love to read or who said that this is going to be the year that they read more, join the book club. I have a list of books that we're going to read, both fiction, both very interesting, both not really thrilling, not the whole romantic things, but more fiction, more self-help books as well. So it's like a mix of both. And if you're interested in it, again, DM me, hit me up, let me know on the Remedy Podcast on both Instagram and TikTok if you guys are down and you want to be a part of it. We're going to meet up. We're going to talk about the book. We're going to probably do 2-3 chapters, and then we're going to meet up and enjoy or talk about the book and have conversation. And then we'll go from there. I don't know, as things get downloaded in my brain, as the Holy Spirit just tells me, start this, do that. I just go with it. That's the kind of way I'm moving for 2026, if you get me. So, like I said in the intro, this is not about playing victim. This is just about simply telling the truth. Telling the truth of a lot of Black women who have spoken up about it, who have not spoken up about it, those who I even know, as even for myself, in the workplace, in relationships, in society, how we have been told to shut up, how we've been told to be silent, how we've been told to take the bare minimum when it comes to every aspect in our life and given crumbs back when we did so. It's acknowledging that Black women are often expected to be strong while simultaneously being overlooked, undervalued, and disrespected. The silence has never protected us. And speaking up is an act of self-respect. I mean, guys, you speak up. I'm talking to the gentleman. You speak up. You say when something isn't right. You say when you're not feeling something. You open your mouth if you're not feeling a particular way about something that may be going on in your life with your friends, within the workplace, and it's often respected. Oftentimes it is respected. There are times, let's not sit here and act like, systemic racism and still isn't a thing. because it is. And for those of you who are living under a rock and think that it's not, well, I need you to come up out of that rock and understand that that is still very much so a thing. That as men in general, you have more of the respect within your community as well, within the workplace. You want us as women to treat you with respect when it comes to all aspects of what you do in the household. It's not to say that you, if you do what you're supposed to do in the house so that your respect won't be given. But where is the same when it comes to us as women? Where do we get that? The disrespect in the workplace. So part of the reason why I decided to choose this topic was because this week in general, I was going to say these last 2 weeks, but no, this week in general, the beginning of the year, the devil was trying me. And the first interaction that I had at work, it got to me. It pissed me off. It did piss me off to the point where this individual, and I will not disclose the individual's name, but I will just say this individual has this constant thing where he respects women of other races, but not of the race of his own. Me and him share the same race. And the way he talks and how he belittles and how he can be very aggressive and very intimidating almost. It comes off like he has mommy issues. It comes off very much so like he has a problem within himself that he now takes it on to any black woman that he comes in contact with. You could hear it in his tone. You could see it in his mannerisms. You could see it in a lot of things that he does. And it's just like, why? And anybody who I work with, please don't sit here and trying to figure out who it is. Just hear what I'm saying and just let it be. And if you do know who I'm talking about, then you know who I'm talking about. Nonetheless, we are getting ready to start the day. And instead of a good morning, how you doing? What do you need help with? Or is there anything that needs to be done? What are we looking like? The first thing is, why isn't it the tone? Why isn't it? And I stood there for like 2.5 seconds. And then I lashed out. Because who are you talking to? Who are you speaking to? And who are you talking to? Now, the moment that my coworker, our colleague, told him like, hey, I'm right here. I'm going to go do what she had asked me to do, meaning me, what I had asked her to do. He calms down. It's like, oh, okay. Because she said to him, I got it. I'm right here. Hello. I'm right here. I'm going. I was just doing something else. And then I was going to where she asked me to go. But the tone and the attitude stopped the moment she did it. The moment she said it, it stopped. But whenever there is an interaction between me and this individual, more times than not, because I won't sit here and say that it's all the time, because it's not, but more times than most, it is very aggressive. So I put my foot down. This isn't the first time I put my foot down. I've done it twice with him. Not only did that happen earlier in the week, but then later on, I want to say a few days later, another individual felt the need that, first, when you're looking at me and you're speaking to me, I'm convinced that means you're having a conversation with me. We're talking. To the point where he felt like I was sticking up for another coworker of mine, which I was, because the person who I was having this conversation with was wrong and strong, like real bad. And I'm sticking up for him because I'm like, you don't know anything about what he's doing. Why are you so worried about what this man is doing and not worried about what you're supposed to be doing? The disrespect came when it was, you're a whack ass person. I said, excuse me? Just kept saying it. Now, this is me literally, I was literally, it was percolating in my mind to say, Michelle, get him, get him, get him. But I didn't. I literally was biting my tongue. I was scratching my finger. If you ever see me, if you ever see like a confrontation happening and it involves me, and this is just something that I've done within the last 2 years or so, where I'm trying to refrain from always opening my mouth and responding, because not everything needs a response. And understanding, because I also watched my Pastor Keon Henderson, when he did a sermon, I think it was 2 Sundays ago or 3 Sundays ago, when he was talking about being offended. And I took that and it resonated with me so much, because I don't like disrespect. And if we're having a conversation, there's no need for you to come for me, because if you come for me, I'm going to go for the jugular and I'm going to come for you. But I was literally telling myself in this one moment, Michelle, stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're at work. Don't do it. And then I just kept, I told myself so much to not do it, but I felt it within my soul that I really wanted to respond to him and really come for everything that he had going on. But I just didn't. I let it go. But it was you're a whack ass person. You're letting this man walk all over you, which he wasn't, because I was telling him where to go and what to do, and telling this other individual where to go and what to do. Mind you, you were only going to do it for 5 minutes. You weren't doing it for that long. So then when I was going to send the both of them on break, but he just felt the need to keep going. So when he eventually stopped, I guess he thought it was a joke, or he thought like, oh, it's not that serious. Michelle, can you pass me that? I ignored him. There was nothing else that I needed to say to him, because if I said anything else, it wasn't going to come out nicely. And in that moment, I was like, Michelle, you did so good. You did so good. Later on in the day, I went to go do overtime. Me and my friend went, and then a few of my other coworkers went to do overtime. And he wanted to take us to where we all park our cars. So my friend called me, and she was like, hey, come, he wants to apologize. He knows he was wrong. I told him he was wrong for that. Come, he'll take you to the parking lot, so that way you can get in the car. I said, absolutely not. 2026, I'm standing on business for myself, and I'm also standing on business with everybody else. If you think you're going to sit here and disrespect me, you have another thing coming, because I'm not handling it, and I'm not taking it for anything for what it is. Watch your mouth, and I'll watch mine. But if that's how you want to go about things, I'm going to let you be, but there's nothing else for us to talk about. There's nothing else for us to speak on. You know what you did, you know how you said it, and you know what you said. I'm going to let you go and do what you have to do. Now, these are just my examples of being disrespected in the workplace. But other Black women have felt the same thing and have interacted with other individuals that they work with, other counterparts, whether it be men, other women, whether it be men of their own race, men of another race. The overqualified yet underpaid situation is beyond me. I don't understand how you can be so good at a job and yet get paid crumbs, can actually be better at the job and still get paid crumbs. Make that shit make sense. Passed over for promotion while being asked to train others is another one that I just don't understand. Even at my job, constantly wanting to tell you to bump up to the next level. You're good at that. You could do it. Other people suggest you could do it. You could do it. You could do it. But whenever you put in for the job, whenever you put in for that promotion, whenever you show that you're changing and you're exceeding and you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, somehow, yet again, you are not chosen. But still, I want you to coach and mentor this other individual who's not doing as good. So you want me to coach and mentor because you know I can do the job. You know I'm good at doing the job. But for whatever reason, and most times out of none, the reason why you're choosing not to promote not only me, but other said individuals who do the same thing is because of something so slight, so small, so minuscule. that is not even as big of a problem as you're making it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that, but you want me to sit here and train others that are in the same position as me to be like me or move how I move or do the work how I do it. Make it make sense. Being labeled as aggressive, difficult, or intimidating for advocating for yourself. That's another thing that Black women, we constantly hear, whether it's at the workplace or anywhere, defending ourselves and speaking up and saying what we have to say. If you're intimidated, that's a you problem. If you feel like I'm being aggressive, that's a you problem. I'm doing the same thing that you would do if somebody was disrespecting you. But because of my skin tone, because of my hair color, because of whatever else on the outside is different from you, it looks like a threat. If you're scared, just say that. There's nothing to be scared of, but if you're scared, just say that. The microaggression, again, just like how I said when it came to my coworker, the aggressiveness, the constant speaking to me like you lost your ever loving mind, as if I'm your wife or I'm your daughter, or I have one father and I'm not married yet. So who are you talking to? And it's and the thing with me now, and I think it's always been this, where it's always the look. I always give them the look, like, who are you talking to? Like, have you lost your mind? Because that's the way that I feel like is so much easier for me to set the tone. And 9 times out of 10 when I do that, and even just with the people who come into my job, I just give them that look like you're not serious. And most of the time they catch on to it. Like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. All right, maybe I'm overdoing it. Okay, so or their aggression will they'll revert their aggression, and they won't be as aggressive when they see me look at them with like if you ever looked at someone and you squint your eyes and you're really trying to figure out like what is going on. That's a thing that I do now, because it's just so much easier than me having to act the damn fool. So I want you to ask yourself this question: why is our competence questioned while others are assumed capable? That is a question you guys can answer in the comments. That is an honest question that I really want to know. So moving on, disrespect in romantic relationships. This one, I will say more than not, we experience from our own brothers that we love. Let me just say this too. We love us some Black men. We do. Contrary to what you may believe, Black women love them some Black men. We do. But we don't like the utter disrespect that we receive, because some of you, not all, some of you have mommy issues or have issues within yourself that you project onto us, or issues that you're having when it comes to the way the world is, how much pain or scrutiny you have to go under from the outside world that you bring and you project again onto us. Let's make something very clear. We all of us, Black women and Black men, are very much so targeted in every aspect. So when you come home to your wife, or you come home to your girlfriend, you come home to your husband, you come home to your boyfriend, it's supposed to be a peaceful moment. It's supposed to be a moment of, honey, I got your back, because the rest of the world doesn't. That's what it's supposed to be. But what we often see, and again, this is not for everybody, but this is for some. So if it applies, then it's for you. And if it doesn't, let it be. We're often expected to be the builder, the ride or die, or the strong one, and to just take the disrespect. I had this conversation with someone probably sometime last year where they had asked the question, why do I think why is it praised that when black women date outside their race, why is that praised? But when black men date outside their race, it's looked down on. And my response to this, and this is just my own opinion, that black women tend to go for someone outside of our race because the respect that's often there is not the same respect that we are given in our own race. The princess treatment, the I got it, don't worry about it, what do you need? The emotional intelligence is not fully there within our own race that it is when we date outside our race. And 9 times out of 10, when you see a black woman with a white man, you will hear stories. And again, I keep reiterating this because I know someone's going to listen to this and they're going to say, oh my God, that's not the truth. Calm down. Relax, Tonto. What I'm saying is, for some black women, their reasoning for doing so is because they tried multiple times dating someone within their race and they have been disrespected. Now, could it have been where they were just dating the wrong type of man? Yes. Same thing for men. Could it have been that you were just dating the wrong type of black woman? Yes. But even if they all came from different walks of life, even if they were all from different areas of her life, where it could have been one from her hometown, one that she met in college, one she met online, one or another one that she met online, someone who she worked with, if all of these men just so happened to be different, and yet they were doing the same thing, and now here she is dating Jimmy, and Jimmy is not only emotionally stable, but also wants her to sit in her femininity, to sit in her softness, to build her up, to motivate her, being sweet to her, giving her that peace that she needs when she needs to vent or when she comes home from work or whatever the case is. 9 times out of 10, she's dating them because of what she couldn't find in her own race. Whereas a lot of black men, I won't say a lot, some black men will date outside of their race because they say other women listen than black women. They're not as combative as black women. But black women don't take no damn disrespect. We're not going to sit here and take care of you, take care of the household, take care of everything that we have to, or we know that we should do on our end as a partnership. And then you're still going out cheating. You're still talking to us the way you think you want to just talk to us. You are coming in all hours of the night. You hang out with your boys more than you hang out with your kids. Whatever it is, you're doing it, or some men do it because they can get away with more than what they could get away with when they're dating a black woman. Again, this is all personal opinions. This is all from what I have seen, what I have heard, who I know. This isn't to say that it's right or wrong. It's just to say that for some women, this could be their truth, and they will probably never say it. So I'm just giving them a voice. Another thing that I've heard plenty of times, even myself, was that being too much, that we're doing too much. I didn't know caring for someone was doing too much. I never knew that was a fucking problem. Be for real. But being that we do too much or we're not feminine enough, a lot of that, I believe, comes from having to survive, in survival mode. And as black people in general, that is embedded in us, where we are stuck in survival mode. Because again, the outside world is attacking us, both men and women, at all different angles. But I do feel like a lot of black women today are trying their best to sit in their softness just for themselves before they can even get into a relationship, and then requiring that the man keeps them there. And you have a lot of men who have this difficulty understanding why women have the boundaries that they have, because they've been there, they've done it. They know what it's like. They know they've seen what it's like to constantly be told that you don't have, constantly be told that they're not enough, or constantly told or ran over or walked over, right? That gives a lot of Black women, I think, the mission to just say, you know what, hey, I'm going to set these boundaries and this is what I want. I want to be soft. I want to see everything that I see on social media as far as women loving on themselves, being kinder to themselves, seeing that there are men out there who will be kind, who will be emotionally available to them, emotionally intelligent to them, who knows their own worth and will bring that to the relationship. Not someone who looks down on them or criticizes them for every little thing. I've even saw a post where this girl, she got pregnant and they were together and the whole bit. She gained weight during the pregnancy. The boyfriend no longer wanted to be with her because she gained weight during the pregnancy. That is the most ignorant thing that I have ever fucking heard. And his response was, oh, and literally this was his response. I wish I could find it. I swear to you, this is exactly what he said. Oh, you don't see other race of women sitting here letting their bodies go after they have a child. So why would you do that? And here we are comparing ourselves to another race. Here we are comparing ourselves to what you don't know what these other women that you're comparing her to possibly have. Do they have a husband who's letting her go to the gym by holding on to the baby, by catering to her after she just pushed out or just sat on the table and let the doctors cut her up to have a child? Are you there to be a soft blanket for her? Are you there to show her that, hey, I got your back because you're going through this moment right now? Or are you just bitching and complaining because she doesn't look how she looked prior to getting pregnant? Are you helping the situation or are you not going to help the situation? The hormonal changes that go into all of that is something that I don't think a lot of men understand and can't fathom because you're not a woman. But to have some type of empathy, to have some type of heart or understanding, to know that this is a life-changing moment that just happened, and the first thing that you're going to say is, well, you let your body go, but you're nowhere in sight to help her to get to that place that she can get her body back or where she feels motivated to do so. And let's remember, ladies, love should not require self-abandonment. You don't forget yourself just because you got into a relationship. You don't forget yourself just because this is someone who you love and they need all of your attention. No, you have to also give yourself attention. And I'm not saying that just to say it. I'm saying it because I had to learn that myself. You cannot let go of all of what you want to do just because you want to be there for this person. You're going to lose you. So don't lose you while trying to hold on to someone else. The next one, disrespect from other races. Jesus, almost killed myself. I don't know where to start. The disrespect from other races, the Black culture being celebrated while Black women are ignored. Our culture is constantly being used for commercials, being used for advertisements, being used for songs, like just everything. Songs, hairstyles, nails, fashion, the way we speak, the words we use, everything. Everything is always celebrated, is always taken, is always tried to make into their own. But we're always ignored. We're always put to the back. I think it was 2024, maybe 2023, when the whole topic or the conversation was about white women having and wearing braids. I think it was something where Kim Kardashian or Khloe Kardashian, one of the Kardashians, I think, wore cornrows. And it was like, it became a trend. It became a trend to where everyone was like, you've seen so many white women now wearing braids and putting on for this, I don't know what the fuck you want to call it, but just putting it on and saying that, oh, it's a trend. Like my culture and the reasons for cornrows, you don't even know the history for cornrows. Cornrows, for those of you who don't know, were maps for the slaves to get out. And they would cornrow the person's hair. It was mainly a man's hair, but also women. Cornrow their hair to show them how they were going to escape and get themselves to freedom. That's why you see all the designs. That's why you see the crisscross. That's why you see certain things, because that was a roadmap. It's not just a trend. It's a lifestyle. That's why I said in the beginning, it's always cute to be black until it's time to be black. It's always nice to represent the culture until it's time to represent the culture. I even noticed, especially being in New York, I noticed during certain parades, the African American Day Parade never gets broadcasted. I don't think anybody realizes that, but it doesn't. You have the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Shout out to my Boricuas. The Puerto Rican Day Parade, which actually I walked in. That was so much fun. I'm not gonna hold you. It was a lot of fun. You have the Puerto Rican Day Parade broadcast. You have the Thanksgiving Parade broadcast. You have the Irish Day Parade broadcast. But you don't have the African American Day Parade broadcast. Nor is it structured to a way where you see all these other parades structured. It's very interesting. And I noticed it as I was getting older. And not only is it not structured, but it's also, you don't see any of these celebrities. None of these celebrities, at least in the recent African American Day parades, you don't see no celebrities attending on a float, putting their money together, doing something to say, hey, let's celebrate us. In Harlem, one of the meccas where all of the black historians that you can actually call the OGs that were there, the people who came before us, who took Harlem to where Harlem is today. Well, shit, it ain't where it is today, but you know what I mean. The history behind Harlem. You don't see any of these celebrities there on a float, giving back, saying what's up during that exact moment. But you see everybody else in all the other parades. You see all the celebrities coming into all the other parades. You see all the respect coming into to other parades. I don't know how I got from black culture being celebrated while black women are ignored, but that's like one thing that popped up in my mind when I thought about this. The expectation to educate others while enduring bias ourselves. That's another thing. Being being appropriated but not appreciated. I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, no. being appropriated but not appreciated. And this one, I think I'm going to leave for the live, really, because I feel like this is something that more than myself can adhere to and also understand and have a viewpoint on. So I'm going to leave this specific topic to the live. That's going to come out on Friday. So make sure you guys tune in on Friday. Respect within the community, including from Black men. This is another one, how misogyny shows up in jokes, music, social media, and dating discourse. Being blamed for systematic issues placed on the entire community, the pain of feeling unprotected or devalued by those who should understand us the most. Emphasize that accountability is not betrayal, that it's just love with boundaries. So, being disrespected from our own people, I believe that within our own community, Black people do it the most. You don't ever hear anybody of any other race disrespecting their women the way that we disrespect our women. It's in jokes, it's in the music, it's in social media, it's in the dating, it's because of this and you look like that, and why does this look like that, and you always wearing this and da. It's always something to disrespect us about. But the people who are supposed to love us and who are supposed to understand us the most don't. To understand the ways and how we move and how we act don't. You hate to love us and you love to hate us. I'm also leave this one for the live as well. But again, make sure you guys leave your comments, because I'm more than welcome to hear your comments on this. The disrespect between each other as Black women. We fight each other more than any other race fights each other. We literally have to go toe to toe. There's a whole network, and we're on it, of us fighting each other over what? Over what exactly? And then have the nerve to sit here and say, oh, we're getting to the money by fighting each other? So why didn't you just train to be a fucking MMA fighter? Why didn't you just train to be a boxer? For all of that, at least you could beat other people up and not just your own Black women that we are supposed to be, sisterhood with. Why are we fighting each other? What is the problem that we have with each other that, oh, she thinks she better than everybody, or she thinks she cute, or she don't think that? What is all of that about? For what? For what? When you have enough people that don't like us already, so why are we hating each other for what? We're projecting. Because there's something that another woman has that we don't like about ourselves that we don't have. So we're pointing it out to someone else who does have it. And she got to be all that. And she got to think this. She got to think that. It creates division. It's giving those on the outside. They're clapping. They're loving it. You're giving them more ammo to say, we are the problem because we keep doing it. We keep doing it. Instead of us just giving each other more grace, more understanding, more softness, more of a sisterhood, more of us to say, you know what, girl, I've been the same way. I understand it. This is what happened and this is how I got over it. Oh yeah, you want me to show you how to do this? Well, here, let me show you how to do that. I don't have to charge you for it. Let me just show you how to do it, because if you win, I win, and then we all win, and then you could probably be better at this and I'm probably better at that, but we both are making this money together. We have to charge each other $755.25 to make sure we get this program. But you're already a millionaire, so why does it matter? We rather sit here and make each other pay for things or be hard on each other about not having this, instead of just realizing, okay, maybe this hasn't worked out for them for this reason. Let me try to understand her, and then speak life and encouraging into her, so that way she can say, you know what, yes, I got to get up and I got to do it. Let me show her how we could get there together. This whole notion of, well, I had to struggle, so you got to struggle too. I cannot stand when people say that shit, especially within our own community. Well, I had to buy my first car, so she's going to have to buy her first car. Why? I got kicked out of my mama's house at 17, so these kids are going to get kicked. Why? Why do you want to see your children struggle the same way you struggled? Why do you want to see other women, Black women, struggling just because you had to struggle? You got to get out the mud the same way I did. Why? Because they're not going to give it to us. You guys have heard constantly about the whole, it's not what you can do, it's who you know. And I strongly believe that. So if you already at the top, if you already have all the accolades, if you already have everything established for you, and you know somebody else who is hardworking, who wants to get it done, who wants it just as much as you have it and how you want it, has that same determination and that same fight, why would you not help them? Why would you not put your foot and say, you know what? I got you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get you in contact with so-and-so. They're going to hit you up. They're going to let you know. We're going to get you in. We're going to make everything right. And this is not just a Black woman. This is a Black man as well. If you know your boy is struggling, you know your boy needs help, and you have the means to do it, I don't understand why our community always needs to see the other person struggling and say, well, you got to get it your own way, because that's how I did it. That makes you a man, getting it your own way. When all Jimmy has to do is make one phone call to Matt upstairs as the CEO. Hey, my son's looking for a job. I have a friend. He's really good at this and he's really good at that. And he hasn't worked in a while, but he really needs something. And he's very good. I promise you, he's really good at his job. Can make that phone call, have that interview, and in 3 to 5 business days, Jimmy has a fucking job. But you're going to let Devontae struggle because, don't get at me with the names, because you already know we have the most unique names ever. You're going to have Devontae sit here and struggle when you know the CEO of this company can get him in. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. He's very good at numbers. He could possibly get this company to make more money than it did last year. Someone who wants to break into acting. You are the head of so-and-so, or you know the head of so-and-so, or you had enough. You've made connections all over to where you can get this person in. But because you had to struggle to get it, you're going to make them struggle to get it. I don't understand why we do the shit that we do. So we're going to combat the negativity and the stereotypes. We are not angry. We are assertive. And hear me loud. We are not bitter. We are discerning. We are not hard. We have been forced to be resilient. So how can we combat disrespect, ladies? How can we get over this that we constantly see, and I hope eventually changes one day, but who knows? Setting firm boundaries without guilt. Do not be guilty for setting your boundary. Do not feel guilty that, oh, you may hurt somebody's feelings. To hell with that. Your boundaries are your boundaries. What you allow is what you're going to accept. Just like I had to put my foot down at work, I will put my foot down again. And this is just in any situation. Friends, relationship, family, work, society, wherever. It doesn't always have to get nasty. It doesn't have to have an attitude. You don't have to sit here and get all, loud and yelling and stuff. You don't have to do that either, unless the time calls for it. But in most cases, you could speak just like this and be so damn assertive and catch them off guard. Choosing environments that honor you. I wanted to start the book club, The Sexy Woman Read To, because I feel like we need more environments where Black women can feel accepted and not talked down on or not looked at as why she got this, and it's so negative. Choose environments that fit and work for you, where you feel accepted, where you see that you're valued. And not just outside of work, but also at work. I feel like a majority of my coworkers, as myself, we are getting to that point now where we just feel undervalued. And our time spent there does not feel receptive or respected. And for most people, this may be it. Saying no without over explaining yourself. A no is a no is a no is a no. I'm sorry, not sorry. If I said no, it's a no. I'm not going to sit here and have to defend myself. If they say no, and when we ask the question, they hit you back with because I said so, then you're going to do the same thing because I said so. Seeking therapy, community, and rest. I love me a good rest. I really do. I love me some good therapy. I love me a good tight-knit community to where I can tell my friends anything that's been bothering me or that's irritating me when I feel like I'm about to crash out. The whole thing. But I take a day. If I have literally nothing to do, I don't sit here and plan for something to do. I literally take that day to rest. I'm starting to go back to the gym. I'm not going to hold you guys. I have not been to the gym. I just been running, but I haven't ran in like 2 months. So we're getting back into our health journey. That is going to be the next vlog that I'm going to do, but stay tuned. Anyway, seeking time to just rest. Take that day to eat your chips, eat your cookies, drink your water, have a nice little glass of wine if you must, and watch a movie and just relax. Don't leave or read a book. Stay in your home. Staying at the place where you pay rent or you pay a mortgage is so much peaceful than sometimes going outside and spending hundreds of dollars that you don't need to spend. Being intentional about the content we consume and the voices we amplify. I have changed and deleted and unsubscribed to so many things on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok because I want positivity, which is something that I definitely said for 2026 that I want to keep myself around and be more vigilant of what I consume and who I listen to and who I watch. You put all this negativity, this rah-rah, this extra shit in your space, and you listen to those voices, that's what you're going to become. Change the people you have around you. Change what it is you subscribe to. Change the music that you listen to. It doesn't always have to be the rap, the hip-hop, the hard, this and that. You can put on some Zen music and calm yourself down. Change the things that you can change, and you'll see the change within yourself. So lastly, but not least, I'm encouraging all of you ladies, all of my Black women, to examine where you tolerate disrespect out of survival. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Where do you tolerate the disrespect that it's only because you needed to survive or because you just need to get by for this one moment? Affirm that choosing yourself is not selfish. It's necessary. You need to choose yourself. You need to choose your peace. If you need to call out of work because you're just not mentally there, do so. If you need to do a little self-retreat, a spa day, do so. You come first. If you're not okay, you cannot be okay for the job. You cannot be okay for the relationship. You cannot be okay for the friendship. You cannot be okay for anything else, for society, for social media. Don't sit here and try to put on a front for social media. Oh, I haven't posted in 2 to 3 days. So what? So be it. I didn't post this whole time from Christmas up until yesterday. I ain't post nothing because I didn't feel like it. Because I was tired. I needed to regroup myself. And I don't feel guilty about it. Do what you need to do to make yourself feel whole again. And I'm going to leave you this truth. Being last in line does not mean we are last in worth. We're not. We are just as important as our counterparts. We are just as important as anybody else who you work with. We are just as important as white women. We are just important as Hispanic women. We're just as important as Asian women. We're just as important as anybody else. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because it's not true. They hate to love us, but they love to hate us. Seriously. So I hope you guys enjoys this episode. Enjoys. What type of English was that? I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys have an amazing week ahead. The first week of January is over. Well, actually, it's technically not the first. Is it the first? It is the first week. Yep, the first week of January is over. And here we are in the second week. I hope you guys have an amazing week. If you guys need that break, take that break. If you guys are not mentally okay, please seek the help that you need. The Remedy 101 is still available for anybody who wants to chit chat, wants to talk, wants to, hey, what's up, what's going on? Hit me in the DMs. We could do that. Just write Remedy 101. And I don't know exactly what it is you guys are talking about. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well as to the podcast itself. That way you know when all the new episodes are dropping. We are back to the 1 episode a week. And we are going back to also the lives on Friday. So stay tuned to the lives this Friday. We're going to be talking about this. Trying to get I want to know what other people think when it comes to this blatant disrespect that as Black women, but also Black people in general, that we feel on a day-to-day basis. And how can we combat that with what's going on in the world? There's so much going on. I hope you guys please take the time to rest. Take the time to stay off of social media because, like I said, there is so much going on. It's so much for us to consume at once. And it is very depressing. It is very sad. It's very overwhelming. It makes people very angry as to everything that's going on. But please keep God first. Talk to God all the time. Let him know how you're feeling. Get a journal, write it down, read scripture. I'm actually reading, the 365 Bible plan. And although I've read majority of the Bible, it's always great to do it again to see things that you probably missed. So if you guys want the link to that, let me know. I'll share that link as well. And I will also see you guys in the next episode. I don't know. I was going to say something else. My father was calling me. But yes, guys, I love you. Thank you for listening. Again, share, like, and comment this episode. And whatever happened into today, leave that shit into today. Don't bring it into tomorrow. I'll see y'all guys later.